I moved into the apartment compound in 2019, hoping for a quiet place close to work. But the moment I stepped inside, the building felt wrong. The hallway was too dark and too silent, like it was holding its breath. And then I saw it. Room 9's door slightly open, as if someone inside had been watching me arrive. As I walked past room 9, something made me glance inside, as if someone tugged my attention. And there she was, a woman sitting perfectly still on the bed, her long, dripping hair covering her face like a curtain. Her posture was unnatural, stiff, almost frozen. For a heartbeat, she didn't move at all. The room was empty, but the chill that crawled up my arms told me I had definitely seen someone, or something, later that night. Just as the building fell silent, 3 slow knocks echoed through the hallway. When I opened my door, the corridor was empty, except room 9. Its door, which had been closed earlier, now hung wide open. Inside was nothing but heavy, motionless darkness. Too dark for a normal room. As I approached room 9, the hallway grew unnaturally quiet. I paused at the doorway, staring into the heavy darkness inside. Then I heard it. A faint, trembling whisper drifting toward me. It sounded like someone crying while trying to speak. The kind of voice that carried pain more than words. Even though I couldn't understand it, I felt certain the whisper was meant for me. For the next few nights, the crying returned at almost the same hour. It always started softly, like someone muffling their sobs, then grew heavier, as if the pain behind it was deepening. It felt close, too close, like she was sitting right on the other side of my wall. Even when the crying stopped, the silence she left behind felt just as haunting. The next day, I confronted the landlord about the crying. The moment I mentioned room 9, her expression shifted from confusion to fear. She pulled me aside and whispered urgently, telling me never to answer the cries, never to open the door. Her voice shook as she refused to explain more. Whatever happened in that room, she clearly wanted it buried. That night in the bathroom, the lights flickered, and the mirror began to fog. When I leaned closer, I saw a woman standing behind me. Drenched hair, swollen eyes, and a look of sorrow frozen on her face. I spun around, but the room was empty. Yet when I looked back at the mirror, her reflection stayed just long enough to make my heart stop. As I tried to steady my breathing, the bathroom door slowly creaked open by itself. The hallway outside was swallowed in darkness, not the kind caused by a broken light, but something deeper. I stood frozen, staring into the blackness, feeling an unseen presence watching from just beyond the doorway. It wasn't angry, just waiting. The next morning, a neighbor approached me quietly. He said no one stayed near room 9 for long. Tenants moved out after only days. One, he whispered, never moved out at all. He described the same nightly crying, the same heaviness in the hall. The way his voice shook made me realize he wasn't repeating rumors. He was remembering. Later, the landlord told me the truth. A young woman once lived in room 9 with an abusive boyfriend. Tenants heard arguments, then begging, then silence. One night, her crying was louder than it had ever been, until it suddenly stopped. No one checked. No one intervened. By morning, the boyfriend had vanished, leaving only questions behind. When the landlord entered the room the next day, she found the woman lying lifeless on the bed, but her presence never left. Tenants kept hearing the sobbing long after her death. Always at night, always from room 9. Some even reported seeing her sitting quietly on the bed, in the corner of the room sobbing or lying under the bed, as if still stuck in her final moment. That night, the crying returned, heavier and closer than before. Then, for the first time, she spoke. A soft, trembling voice whispered, "Help me." The moment I heard it, the air turned icy. It didn't feel like a threat. It felt like a plea, one filled with years of pain and desperation. I realized she wasn't haunting, she was calling. At around 3 a.m., I felt the mattress beside me sink. It was gentle, like someone sitting down cautiously. Then came the cold breath against my cheek. My entire body froze as I realized something was inches away from me. I kept my eyes shut, terrified that opening them would make everything too real to deny. I got goosebumps, chills running through my body. I'm so frightened. When I finally opened my eyes, she was right in front of me, her face pale, her hair dripping, her eyes red and full of sorrow. She whispered, "Help me," with a trembling voice. Up close, she didn't look threatening. She looked broken, like someone begging for a chance to be seen one last time. Again, she said, "Help me," this time with a desperate voice. Too afraid, I closed my eyes and prayed for a moment. I ran into the hallway, hoping distance would calm me. But the moment I stepped out, every door suddenly slammed, shut, one after another, echoing violently through the building. The lights flickered so hard, the hallway seemed to pulse. Shadows shifted quickly along the walls, almost like something unseen was moving past them. Every door closed, except room 9, which remained wide open, as if intentionally waiting for me. Room 9's door slowly creaked open even wider, though no one was near it. The darkness inside looked deeper than before, as if the room had swallowed all its light. Yet the air felt heavy, with emotion rather than danger. I could almost sense her presence, sad, pleading, urging me to understand the story she couldn't tell when she was alive. The room itself felt like it was calling out. As I stepped closer, faint flashes rippled through the room. Quick, blurry images of her final moments. I saw her crying, her fear, the shadow of her boyfriend towering over her. The scenes weren't clear, like fragmented memories caught in the walls. It didn't feel like she wanted to scare me. It felt like she needed someone to witness what truly happened to her. She appeared again, kneeling on the floor, her head bowed, her hands trembling as she reached toward me. There was no anger on her face, only deep sorrow. Her eyes were filled with a kind of pain that didn't fade even in death. In that moment, I realized she wasn't haunting the room. She was begging for someone to finally see her and not turn away. Overwhelmed, I turned and ran. Down the stairs, through the hallway, out the building as fast as I could. I didn't stop to grab my belongings or catch my breath. It felt like her presence followed me all the way to the gate. Heavy, longing, unwilling to let go. Even once I reached the street, I couldn't shake the feeling that she was still behind me, watching. Weeks later, I passed by the apartment again. Room 9 now had a "for rent" sign, as if nothing had happened. But when I looked through the window, I froze. She was there, sitting quietly on the bed, crying just as before. It felt like she had never left, trapped in the same moment, waiting for someone who might finally help her find peace.